Overview. The Death Korps of Krieg is a renowned and grimly efficient regiment of the Astra Militarum, Imperial Guard, in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Known for their stoic demeanor, relentless discipline, and overwhelming dedication to the Emperor of Mankind, the Death Korps are often seen as the embodiment of the Imperial Guard's resolve in the face of insurmountable odds. Their history is steeped in tragedy, sacrifice, and a grim acceptance of death as a necessary part of their duty. Origins. The Death Korps of Krieg hails from the planet Krieg, a once thriving world that became embroiled in a devastating civil war during the Age of Apostasy. The conflict arose due to the rise of a rebellious faction led by a traitorous noble, which led to a brutal and protracted war between the Imperial loyalists and the traitors. The war ravaged the planet, leading to extensive destruction and loss of life. In the end, the Imperial forces prevailed, but at a staggering cost. As punishment for their rebellion, the planet's population was subjected to harsh sanctions by the Imperium. This included the imposition of a strict military regime and a culture of sacrifice and self-discipline. The inhabitants of Krieg came to accept death as an inevitable part of their existence, leading to the formation of the Death Korps, a regiment dedicated to the Emperor and the eradication of all threats to the Imperium. Recruitment and training. The Death Korps recruits its soldiers primarily from the population of Krieg. The training regimen is brutal and unforgiving, designed to instill an unwavering sense of duty and a willingness to face death without fear. Recruits are often subjected to rigorous physical conditioning and psychological indoctrination, emphasizing the importance of sacrifice for the greater good of the Imperium. Death Korps soldiers are known for their distinctive appearance, wearing heavy, grimy trench coats and gas masks, a reflection of their homeworld's toxic environment and the brutal conditions of trench warfare. Their uniforms are often adorned with insignia that symbolize their loyalty and sacrifice, including the skull and the Imperial Aquila. Combat Doctrine. The Death Korps of Krieg is infamous for its doctrine of attrition warfare. They are trained to fight in the harshest conditions, often employing tactics that rely on overwhelming the enemy through sheer numbers and relentless assaults. Their soldiers are fearless in the face of death, often engaging in frontal assaults with minimal regard for casualties. This doctrine stems from their belief that every soldier's life is expendable in the service of the Emperor. The regiment excels in siege warfare, trench warfare, and protracted engagements. They are often deployed in the most desperate of situations, where other Imperial forces might falter. The Death Korps has a reputation for holding the line against overwhelming odds, and their tenacity in battle is legendary. Equipment and armament. The Death Korps of Krieg is equipped with standard Astra Militarum gear, including lasguns, heavy weapons, and artillery. However, they also make extensive use of specialized equipment suited for their combat style. This includes grav chutes and drop pods for rapid deployment into hostile environments, heavy mortars and basilisks to provide indirect fire support during sieges, sentinels and Lehman Russ tanks for armored support in ground engagements, gas masks and filters, essential for survival in the toxic environments of Krieg and other battlefields. The Death Korps also employs a range of artillery units, including the formidable Bombard, which is capable of launching devastating barrages against enemy positions. Notable campaigns. The Death Korps of Krieg has participated in numerous campaigns across the galaxy, often serving as a spearhead for the Imperial forces. Some of their most notable engagements include the Siege of Vrax. This was a protracted campaign against Chaos forces that had taken hold of the Forge world of Vrax. The Death Korps was instrumental in breaching the heavily fortified positions of the enemy, showcasing their expertise in siege warfare. The Defense of Cadia. During the 13th Black Crusade, the Death Korps played a crucial role in the defense of Cadia, where they fought valiantly against the forces of Chaos. Their tenacity helped to delay the inevitable fall of the planet, the War for Armageddon. The Death Korps were deployed to the war-torn world of Armageddon, where they engaged in brutal conflicts against Orc and Chaos forces, further cementing their reputation as elite soldiers of the Imperium. Cultural aspects. The culture of the Death Korps is one of grim determination and acceptance of sacrifice. Soldiers are indoctrinated with the belief that they are expendable in the service of the Emperor. This mentality fosters a strong sense of camaraderie among the troops as they face the horrors of war together. Their motto, "In death we find glory," encapsulates their outlook on life and death. The Death Korps also conducts elaborate funerary rites for their fallen comrades, honoring their sacrifice and ensuring that their names are remembered. Conclusion. The Death Korps of Krieg stands as a testament to the grim realities of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. They are a regiment forged in the fires of war, molded by tragedy, and defined by an unwavering commitment to the Emperor. Their legacy is one of sacrifice, discipline, and an unyielding resolve to fight against the darkness that threatens humanity. In a galaxy filled with horrors, the Death Korps remain a symbol of the Imperium's enduring strength and determination.